Alright, so I'm really cheating tonight, and I'm doing everything on the video. One of my best friends, Tim Gazarowski, lives up in Prince William now. He's a police officer there. Happened to be in town today through Wednesday for training purposes. So because of that, I've been out hanging out with him all evening long, and that's why I'm having to, like I said, cheat and get this done quickly here. Let's hit the diet stuff first. It was terrible today. Saturday, the diet was pretty good. Had
Think happy thoughts.
shoot, what I even have? Cereal for breakfast, lunch meat sandwich for lunch. Dinner was pasta and chicken. Sunday, slept through breakfast, had Five Guys for lunch, and then for dinner last night we went out to Little Caesars, so I got a pizza and crazy bread and soda. This morning for breakfast I had a bowl of cereal before the early class, and then afterwards had another red smoothie. For lunch I was running around, had to run a bunch of errands, one of which brought me back home. So since I was home, I just grabbed some of my leftover pizza and heated that up and finished that off. And then for dinner, we went to Capital Ale House and had their $2 burger night, and I had 2 burgers. So the last 48, 60 or 48, 72 hours. It's 3 days, right? Yeah. Last 3 days, diet's been pretty much crap. But, on the other hand, I am proud to report that after 2 weeks I've dropped from 224 to 220. So at the very least I'm losing weight, which is a good thing. I'm going to really have to lock up the diet the next few days, make sure I don't, fall into a false sense of complacency, and really make sure I stick to that so I can continue losing weight. Today is week 4, day 1. Made it into the early jiu-jitsu class, the 6 a.m. class. Woke up 5 o'clock this morning and just was, kind of one of those situations where, usually I wake up and I look at the clock and it says 5 and I go, good, I've got 2 more hours to sleep. But for whatever reason, I kind of rolled over and looked at the clock and then thought, I feel pretty good. I had a nap Sunday afternoon and I figured, might as well, I'm awake now, I feel good, let's get up and get it done. So I got up, had some breakfast, got to the class, and today is October 1st, so it's the first day of a new theme, and this month's theme is triangles. So went in for triangle class, and it was, we were working triangles from the half guard. Basic idea being you get a deep overhook and grab inside the collar to control one arm, and then you push the other arm away and step through for the triangle. Worked a couple of different variations, one where your opponent's just kind of got his hand posted on the ground and you can block it and bring your leg through, another one where he starts trying to push on your knee and you have to clear the hand and then worry about him basing and things like that. So I found that I really kind of like, I found myself working from half guard on a fairly regular basis recently, mainly because, I start off, when we spar, I usually end up trying to play kind of butterfly into full guard, and so find myself, getting my guard passed by the better players in the gym, and rather than, trying to fight and losing it, and having them dictate when they get past my legs, and therefore they get to decide that they're going to go all the way to side control, I've been a little bit smarter and kind of identifying, that kind of tipping point when, I'm not going to maintain my guard, and it's just a matter of time before they get past my legs, and I can either fight through it and end up bottom side control, or I can, have some say in what happens. And so I've been ending up in half guard more recently. I've been trying to work the sweep that Daniel had taught us, not this Friday, but the previous one, the first competition class I went to. He taught us a couple of sweeps from half guard. I've been trying those. Been getting caught in some Kimuras and guillotines. which, I would be able to hit the sweep, but would leave would be chicken winged out, or would have my neck too far extended, not listening to their leg. And just, other little things like that, I'm going, okay, I need to make sure I stay tighter here and stay tighter here, so I'm not handing them a submission opportunity as I sweep them over. So yeah, since I've been playing half guard recently, and I've already been playing with, overhooks and working for an omoplata type position, it's kind of nice that, on Friday, or on Thursday, Andrew's teaching us an arm bar from the omoplata setup, and now we're learning, a triangle from basically the same kind of situation this morning. So that was kind of cool to be able to see these different little pieces kind of start clicking together into a game that I had already kind of been toying with a little bit. So then, went to work, another long, ridiculous day at work with the new Paragon checks taking forever and things taking forever and not getting done on time and getting out late again because the new processes are ridiculous. So I showed up about 15 minutes late and wasn't even changed. I mean, I came straight from, usually I go from work home. Since I live right around the corner from the gym, I can go home, change, and then go to the gym. But fortunately, I had a feeling that today would be a ridiculous one, so I had packed my gym clothes to take with me. I went straight to the gym, was still 15 minutes late, had to run back and change real quick. When we walked in, they were practicing double leg takedown. By the time I got changed and came out, they had finished with that and were now working a double leg, and then your opponent tries to roll away and you follow to top turtle and then take his back and flatten him out, and the ponage back take, as Andrew termed it. And then we learned after the ponage how to then apply the rear naked choke if your partner is foolish enough to pop his chin up. And then we learned the slightly more traditional taking of the back. Or maybe not traditional isn't the right word, but the more commonplace, I guess, since most people aren't going to let you completely flatten the belly down when you take their back. Worked on, you've got turtle, so you get one hook in, karate chop the opposite hip, roll them over, open the leg up, put the other hook in, and then start fighting through for the choke. So after that, we went into situational sparring like we always do with the fundamental classes at 5:30 on Mondays and Wednesdays. And it was, upper belts seated, white belts taking their back with a harness grip, and just go from there. So I rolled first with Tyler, and we had a long battle because we started off and I locked up the body triangle pretty quickly, and he was doing a really great job of peeling my arm off and controlling my arm and pulling me and getting me off to the side and rolling. And it was only because of my body triangle that I was able to stay in place on his back, attached to him, and not be pulled off, shucked off, or rolled over. So I was able to maintain that, and it kind of work my arm free and back to his back and start attacking with the choke again. We eventually kept rolling into other people, and so we kind of reset, and rather than trying to figure out the exact position we were in, we just started over. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I decided not to go back for my body triangle, and he very quickly rolled me over and put me in guard and triangled me. He gets into guard and he starts hunting for the armbar, and jokingly I said, "Hey, come on, man, you can't do that. That was last month. You're not allowed to armbar anymore." So he went, "Oh, okay," and he triangled me instead. So thank you, Tyler, for playing by the rules. Made me feel like a jerk and an idiot. After that, I rolled with Daniel, who's a brown belt at the gym. Rolled with him, again, put the body triangle on. He, was trying to roll towards the foot that I had locked, to try to put me in the ankle lock. And for a while, I was doing a pretty good job of keeping him from rolling that way. But then I got distracted with trying to dig my arm in for the choke and was too focused on that and let him get the momentum. He rolled me over and put got my foot down, and, because he's a nice guy, very carefully started proceeding for the ankle lock. And I desperately started yanking on his neck, hoping, well, maybe if I pull hard enough, he'll choke out me. Nope, that's not going to happen. That's not. So then he very kindly assumed that I didn't know what was coming, rather than I knew it was coming and was too dumb to tap out early. But explained that I need to get back to my regular hooks and switch the body triangle, and I was too embarrassed to tell him that I already knew that, because obviously I should have just done it instead of trying to. Anyway, so then rolled with him again, and he knew the body triangle was coming, so fought it off, and we were kind of in a scramble right when the bell rang. So that's kind of the major news from today. Really kind of, like I said, feeling like the half guard situation. It's probably going to work pretty well for me. I think that's what I'm going to kind of tend towards, especially since I have a strong feeling that even though I will hit 215 and be in the super heavyweight category, there's usually barely any of us in super or ultra heavyweight, so those two divisions end up getting melded together anyhow. So I'm going to end up fighting big guys, and I'm going to have to play, basically a small man's game. I'm going to be the little guy of all the big guys. So I'm just going to work on, playing small, working on control and, all that kind of stuff. And I really need to make sure I come to the late classes where Justin and Mark and Austin are going. So I can get used to rolling with the big guys. I can get used to the pressure and the size and, the difference in, easily being able to lock my guard around, most people at the gym, as opposed to, these are big guys and it's more difficult to control them and their posture and that sort of thing. So I really need to start hunting for the big guys and calling them out to make sure that I'm getting that time in with, the body types that I'm going to be competing against. I mean, this is week 4 of 7. I've only got, including this week, 3 hard weeks of training and then 1 of, kind of more situational stuff, So I really gotta, make sure I'm rolling with the guys who are going to do me the most good. For that reason, I want to make sure I get in bed early tonight so I can go in tomorrow morning, catch the no-gi early class. Hopefully Justin will be there so I can roll with, a big guy, and work on, what it's going to take to, to deal with those guys. So that's the recap of week 4, day 1. Once again, looks like I'm right around that 13-14 minute mark. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully one of these evenings I'll have enough time to actually sit down and write instead of having to cheat and yammer on like this. So later, y'all. See y'all around the interwebs.